Owning a business is a luxury that a lot of people look forward to, but they are not always prepared for what comes with owning a business. And the reality is that it is not always sunshine and rainbows. So in this video, I'll be talking about a lot of the things that I was expecting and what my reality is today as far as being a business owner now for 2 years, owning a storefront business. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video before we even get started. Today I'm going to be going over some of the things I wish I knew before I opened up my storefront business. If you're new here, you probably haven't seen my last video, but if you're not new, you probably watched a couple of my videos before this, and one of them I talked about how I opened up my storefront business at the age of 22, and I went over a lot of like the funding process, finding a location, the build out, and all that stuff. And a lot of you guys had some more questions about opening up a business and wanted some more of these kind of videos. So today I'm going to go over a little bit of like what my expectations were and what I'm actually currently going through, being 2 years into owning a business. So that's going to be what this video is about. So if you're interested, make sure you continue to watch this video. So I'm going to be talking to you guys and eating because I am starving. I haven't ate like all day. When I first opened up my business, of course you have these very high expectations, you know, and a lot of people's reasonings for opening up a business are semi the same thing. So like most people get into it because they want financial freedom, they want time freedom, they want to be able to control their own schedule, their own narrative, all that stuff. And that's exactly why I got into it. Not only was I passionate about what I'm doing, but of course I was like, I don't want to have to work for somebody my whole life. So I want to open up my own thing. I want to control what I do, how I promote, how I market, how I run my place. And of course I wanted to have financial freedom. Like that's everyone's main goal when opening up a business, is that they eventually want to be financially stable. I wanted the time freedom to be able to travel when I wanted to, work when I want to. If I want off, I can just have off. So that was why I opened it. And a lot of those things I have been able to accomplish, but a lot of those things I haven't. So the reality of being a business owner is that the financial stability is not going to come when you want it to come. It is a process. It is a long process. And like I've said, I've been open for 2 years, and my business makes enough for it to run and sustain itself. So I've never had to come out of my personal pocket to fund anything. It funds for rent, it funds for inventory, it funds for payroll, and any other expenses that come along with that, like the smaller bills, electricity, Wi-Fi, phone bill, any of the contracts I have for like equipment, and it funds all of the minimums for the debt that I got into to open up the business to begin with. So it runs itself, which I'm so thankful for, because a lot of people, when they open up businesses, especially new businesses, if they don't get enough funding in the beginning and they use all of their funding within like the first couple of months, they end up having to come out of pocket to run their business because it's not making enough to pay for the daily things that it needs. So thank God I've been able to let it run itself. But because it's running itself, that does not always mean that I make a profit. And there are some months where I do make a profit, maybe $3,000, $5,000. There's some months where I only make like $1,000. And there's some months where it might be under. But because I know how to manage my money, even the months where it's under, I still have enough money put away in my account. That way it could still fund for the months when it's slow. So with that being said, I'm not the kind of person to where if my business profits $5,000 that month, I am not going to take out that full $5,000 and pay myself. That's just not me. So I rather leave that $5,000 in my account, because I never know what the next month is going to look like. Like what if next month I'm short $2,000 and I took the $5,000 profit I made last month, paid myself, and I went and go blow that on whatever I wanted to blow that on for my personal life. Now when my business needs it, I'm going to have to come up with money to fund whatever my business needs funded. So I choose to leave the profit that I make in my account until I make a substantial amount of profit. Like if one month, if I make $10,000, $15,000 in profit, I'm going to take $5,000 and pay myself. because I know that I made enough profit to cover the next month if it's not profitable that month. So I do not pay myself. I've been in business for 2 years, and of course I've paid myself here and there, but it has not been a substantial amount. Like, it's literally maybe $500 a week, $1,000 a month. Like, it literally just depends on what I need funded in my own life, and that's how much I pay myself. Now I do work hours in my storefront, so that saves me a lot on payroll because I'm working the bulk of the hours. Like, I'm open 12 hours a day from 6 to 6 during the week, and like the weekend I'm open about 8 hours, 6 hours on Sunday. So if we're open 6 to 6, I'm normally working at least 8 of those hours, if not 6 of those hours. And I do give myself off 2 days out of the week. So with me working hours in the store, I also do make tips. It is like a cafe, so people tip, and tips can be really good some days. So I do keep the tips that I make on my shift. So that is usually what I use to fund my own lifestyle. Now, I have been very blessed to not have a very high overhead in my personal life. So my only overhead is really my car note, and I just got my car. So the first year in business, I was driving a 2007 Volkswagen Rabbit. It was beat up, old, paid off, right? So I had no car note. So the only thing I was really paying for is the electricity and the Wi-Fi in our apartment. My boyfriend handled the rent. I also paid for like groceries, my gas, and that was pretty much it. My boyfriend also takes care of my insurance, so I did not have a very high overhead. So for me to be able to pay all of my necessities on top of like the minimums for like my credit cards and stuff, I needed about $600 to $800 a month. So I made that in tips just working at my business. So thankfully, that has helped me out a lot. A lot of people don't have that luxury. Like, if you open up a business, you need minimum like $3,000 in your personal pocket just to take care of your personal bills. I don't have kids, I don't have a mortgage or any of that, so thankfully I didn't need all that. Now, once I got my car, that amount doubled. My car note is like $680. I drive an Audi now. I probably should have waited to get an Audi until my business was a little bit more profitable, but I was tired of my car. The $600 to $800 I needed before I got my car has now doubled. And instead of me taking that $680 out of my business and then one day needing it, I decided, you know what? I'm going to get a second job. Hence my clothing. I am a waitress at Outback. And people are like, oh, why do you work a second job if you own a business? Yes, I could use my business money to pay for what I need, but I choose not to. The key word is being choose. I don't have to work a second job, but I choose to because I like to keep my business money funding my business and investing into what I need in my business as far as marketing, new equipment, whatever the case may be. And I'd rather work a waitressing job 3 nights out of the week and make $800 to $1,000 a month or more, depending on how busy we are, and use that money to fund my lifestyle rather than having to take it from my business and then one day my business needing it and I don't have it. So I do waitress, and that is one thing I was not expecting, was me having to work a second job. Bulk of that is because I did decide to get a car, so now I have a car note. So, you know, I need more money in my personal life. So if you're deciding to open up a business one day, that is something you're going to have to keep in mind. Like, if you don't have enough funding in the beginning, as far as like loans and stuff, to sustain you for at least a year or two, you're going to have to figure out where are you going to get the money if your business needs it. And more than likely, there will be a time when your business needs it. A business goes through seasons. So for me, my slow season is literally around the holidays. In the holidays, I could go from making $20,000 a month in my storefront to going to make like $10,000. So it's literally cut in half. So my business will always need extra funding during the holiday season. The first question you want to ask yourself whenever you're opening up a business is like, how much money will you need from your business in order to sustain your current lifestyle? And for me, that number was very, very low. So for me to open up a business, I wasn't taking a huge risk, right? I was like, you know what? I'm able to open up a business. I know for sure I'm going to be able to sustain the $800 in bills that I have. So I'm going to be good. But if you're a person that has a very, very expensive lifestyle and high overhead in your personal life, then you're going to have to take in consideration, like, if my business is not making that much money in the beginning, how am I going to keep my personal life afloat? So you might have to get a second job. So I was not expecting to have to work 2 jobs, but it is working for me currently. And like I like to tell everybody, is that your business will be under construction, I like to say, for at least 5 years. So the first 5 years of business, you're not really going to see a return in profit. I'm still paying off debt, and more than likely, if you get into a business and you use loans to open up that business, you're going to be paying on those loans for at least 3 to 5 years, right? So you're not technically making a profit yet, because you're still paying on what you took out to open up the business. So then once those 5 years, 3 to 5 years pass, now you can start to see a little bit more profit because you're not paying on debt. And then after 3 to 5 years, your business is a little bit more established, the word has gotten out a little bit more, and your profit margin should increase. So then you should be able to take some of that money that you're making in profit and pay yourself. But you have to be prepared for the beginning to be a little hectic, if not a lot hectic. Like, sometimes businesses will fail within the first year or 2 because they didn't prepare themselves for what's to come. There's going to be slow months, there's going to be slow times, and like, you're going to have to do things to cut back on your overhead for your business in order to keep it afloat, you know? There's times where I had to wipe out employees completely because I needed money to keep my business afloat. So I worked the hours myself from 6 to 6 every single day. And that's what I had to do in order to make sure my business stayed solid. And now I'm 2 years in. And like I said, I feel like I do pretty good to be a 2-year business. That's still pretty new, but you just have to be resilient. You have to be disciplined with your money for sure. Don't just get a business and think that you're gonna make all this money and take and drain your business dry. And then you wonder why businesses open and they're closed within the first 2 years. It's because people don't know how to manage their money. They aren't prepared for the ups and the downs that a business comes with, because it's not always sunshine and rainbows, guys. Another learning curve that I've been through is employees. I go through employees like crazy. It is so hard to find good workers these days. And then especially with me being a small business, I don't pay a significant amount hourly. So right now in Louisiana, minimum wage is like $7.25. I pay anywhere from $8 to $8.50 an hour, plus they make tips while they're there. So I feel like it averages out to about $10 an hour with the tips that they make. But that's not nothing compared to, you know, Chick-fil-A starting at 15, 20, whatever it is. And, you know, the cost of living is expensive these days. So a lot of people are looking for a higher pay hourly wage. But with me being small business, I don't have that luxury of being able to pay my employees that much, even though I would love to. So I have to find people who are like high school, college girls who are not really looking to make a significant amount of money because they're still in school. Their parents pretty much pay for everything. They're just looking for a little bit of extra money for themselves to go shopping, whatever they want to do. So that's usually the people that I hire. But with me hiring these younger girls, there's a lot of things that they don't know how to do properly. They have a lack of work ethic because they don't really need to work. So their value of their job is a little bit different. So I've been through a lot of employees, and I've had some great ones and I had some really, really bad ones that ended horribly. But sometimes you have to fire people. You have to let them go. Sometimes they get mad for the stuff that you do or that you say. And it's just a different time for employees. So they're a little bit more tender. You know, you have to be very gentle with them. And sometimes that can suck. So you have to be prepared to be able to deal with employees. You have to have that authority, that leadership, and sometimes you have to be stern. And I am not a stern person, so I had to learn how to be that and not try to make everyone my friend, because now I'm a boss, you know? Another thing that I wish I would have been more prepared for is the emotional, mental, and physical exertion that it takes to be a business owner. I was so stressed so many times because, like I said, businesses, it will have ups and it will have downs. And when those lows came, like, you don't know how many times I wanted to quit. I wanted to sell my store. I'm like, I just can't do this. I make more money personally working a 9 to 5. Like, it's just a lot of stress dealing with employees and customers and trying to not only work hourly in the store, but also do the behind the scenes stuff, the inventory, the taxes, the payroll, making sure everyone's getting paid, my CPA. Like, it could be very, very stressful, and it can take a toll on you. And especially now that I work 2 jobs, it is taking a lot of my personal time. So I don't have time for myself. Half the time I'm doing press-on nails because I don't have time. My hair is usually just thrown up in a bun. I don't have time for my personal self, nor my relationship. I don't have time to clean my house. I'm like, it's just so much, and I'm so stressed out. My space isn't organized how I would like for it to be because I'm always tired. When I am off, all I want to do is sleep. It's like, it can be very, very exhausting, but I just have to constantly remind myself, like, there's a bigger dream and a bigger goal here. Like, yes, it is exhausting mentally, physically, emotionally right now, but what will that look like in the next 4-5 years? You know, that is literally what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for me to hit that 5-year mark and for me to really see the fruits of my labor. Just like with anything, we have to plant seeds, and I feel like I'm still in the time of my business journey where I'm planting seeds. So I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and it's going to be stressful for the first couple of years, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with that stress and how to cope with your emotions and get through it. A lot of me getting through all of this time has been with God, and literally I noticed a difference in my spirit, in my emotions, and literally in my business as well when I pray. Praying has gotten me through a lot. You just have to be prepared before you get into business that you're going to be going through a lot of stress, a lot of emotional tension. Your relationship is going to get tested. Your physical is going to get tested. Your mental state will be tested, and you just have to find out ways for you to cope and get through that. But the beauty of owning a business is that the time freedom is there when you desperately need it. So I don't always take advantage of my time freedom because I like to save on my payroll. But if I decide, you know what, this week I want to go on vacation, I do not want to work, I'm sick, whatever, I have that luxury and that flexibility to be able to just schedule employees if I desperately needed to, right? So I do have that time freedom that I can use at my own expense. And not only do you have that time freedom, but the years that you're in business, you're building up business credit. And the goal is to build up that business credit, start a savings with your business, invest a little bit with your business. And one day, once your business has become profitable, sell it and move on to your next project, you know, and sell it for a profit. If it took you $20,000 to start your business, once it starts making money, you can sell it for $30,000, $35,000. Now you can pay back all of the loans that you took out to get that business and use the remaining to start up your new business. It's like Monopoly, right? So that's the goal for it. You just have to be tough and have that discipline to stick through the hard times. So that's my little rant today. Have not eaten but like 2 bites of this, so I probably should stop talking and eat. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helps somebody out there. I want to do more business videos, so if y'all have any specific questions for me that you would like for me to turn into a video, please let me know. I know on my last video somebody just asked me about how I did my marketing when I first opened to have a successful like grand opening or like a successful first day of business, because literally like my first day of opening I made like $1,000, but I literally was like marketing my butt off. So I will make a video about that next, so stay tuned. Make sure y'all subscribe, turn on your post notifications, that way you can get notified every time I drop a video. Like this video, leave a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.